Hi, Felix.
Hi, Bruno. How are you?
I'm fine, and you?
Great.
Thanks very much for your availability to have this talk with me without any filters about remote work and also about the workshop work together anywhere that you did with Rebel Talent, our amazing partner. But let's not talk just about that, and let's begin with you. Who are you, Felix? And what is the relation that you have with the remote work?
It's not an easy question to answer, to be honest. I should know it because it's me, but it's strange. No, I'm a civil engineer who started working as a job site manager. Then I started in Cemex, building materials company, as technical commercial. And now I'm fully dedicated to our digital platform and online stores and so on. So I have evolved a lot during the years. And because of my position that it's European, I'm responsible for our digital platform Themes Go in all Europe. I need to deal with a remote team, no? And probably this is why I did this certification, working together anywhere. Sorry, with Rafa in June, no? Because I wanted to improve the performance of my team and also of my performance as a leader with this remote team, no?
And when did you start it? Working in a remote way with your team?
Okay, I started managing this remote team in March of last year.
Okay.
But it was not so hard as it is now, no? Because I used to travel at least once per quarter to each of the countries to meet my team there, to make some face-to-face team building. And also we try to meet the whole team twice per year so that they also build these relationships. And now we cannot, no? After March, everything changed. And now we need to manage to do some kind of virtual team building, some activities to not only to talk about work things, but also to know each other a bit better, no? And I think we have managed after the tips I get from Rafa and from other things that I have read and listened to. There are plenty of things you can do. And the only thing is that you need to be a bit brave and a bit crazy to try to propose that to other people, not because the people sometimes they look at you like, I'm not very convinced. I'm going to do that because you are my boss, but I'm not so convinced that it's going to work, no?
Yeah. What kind of brave things did you already did with your teams that they were like, nah, I don't want to do it? What kind of crazy things you are telling to me, Felix? Because that is not possible.
No, they don't tell me that, but I see their faces. The last thing I did and I proposed, and we are going to try to follow it, not only with my team, but all with the rest of the department teams, is the virtual birthday parties. Okay. Try to have a 30 minutes birthday day. We started with mine just to make it easier for the rest. And the idea is to spend 30 minutes talking about, in this case, me, but we will talk about another person in their birthday and trying to know each other a bit better. No? And we used a mural with some post-its that were the answers to some questions, and they need to guess which was the true. No? And they learned a lot of curiosities, like who is my favorite music group or band. You will never tell.
It's difficult to know it.
Yeah, it's not easy.
Yeah. It's I really don't know. I don't understand what kind of band you like, really.
Yeah, it's strange, no? So they were not so convinced in the beginning, but in the end they spent a nice time. In fact, my wife made a cake for me, and I put the difficult part is to share this cake with everyone, no?
Yeah.
In the end, I ate everything, and it's not very convenient for me, but I enjoy it a lot. I sent some pictures to my team so that they see that I was enjoying the party with them.
Next time you have to buy cakes for everybody.
Yeah, that's a good option, but I don't know if in Poland they make good cakes. Maybe yes, who knows?
Yeah,
it would be the same for everyone for sure.
Did you make this workshop because of the COVID situation, or also did you felt before this COVID situation that there was something to get better in terms of how to work in a remote way with your team?
In fact, I started to get concerned on that before. I started buying some books and trying to make some courses in Degree. That is a platform that we use in CEMEX for trainings. And I did this course because a peer in the company in the human resources department, I think she knew Rafa before, and she knew about this course, and she thought, okay, probably Felix will like to do it, no? And I think she suggested, because if she was alone, the price was one, but if she bring another peer with her, the price was less, no? So she said, okay, I don't care if he likes it, but I will encourage him to do it so that it's cheaper. A joke, but I thought it was a good idea, and after doing that, I mean, I think it was a real good idea to do this course, no? Because I learned a lot of things. I learned a lot of platforms or tools to do that, like Loom for videos for the pre-work, or Mural for the presentation, or for the meeting, not for the presentation. Key tips like don't use the meetings to present, but to work, and so on, and try to do as much as pre-work as you can, no? And thank you. And the idea is not to do this course and then don't put in practice. No, when I learned that, I try to make an action plan to say, okay, what I want to put in practice, and I'm not going to do everything at the same time, no? So I decided to start with the pre-work, making a presentation of what we are going to talk about in the meetings with a video presentation before. Then I started to get more keen on Mural, trying to make some decision-making programs, even some icebreakers, and so on. No? So trying to do it progressively so that you get it as normal or as natural when you are working. No.
Yeah. And when you started to make the workshop, what kind of goals did you have? So you imagine, I have this kind of goal to reach at the end of the workshop. Did you reach it, or what? Or did you felt that there's something missing in here?
The main was to be able to engage the team and to make them feel as a team, even though they don't see each other and they are not going to see each other for a big while, no? And yeah, I think that with this kind of icebreakers, with some specific meetings for knowing each other better and so on, I think, yes, we're achieving that. Maybe my team is now seeing me and say that's not true, but my perception is that it's true, so this is what matters, especially because they cannot talk now. But yeah, I think we have improved as a team, and we work together a bit better, no?
Yeah. And one more question about the part of the seeing articles, seeing some talks, for example, about the remote work, and the advices that you read a lot in a lot of places. How do you differentiate the workshop from the other stuff that you read, that you listen, webinars inclusive, for example?
The main advantage that the workshop has is with a webinar, you listen to it, you take some notes, and then you try to put in practice in real life, no? But with the workshop, at least how it was managed here in Spain, you put it in practice during the workshop, no? It was a very interactive workshop, and for me, that I'm a kind of learner that I cannot learn with just reading or just trying to memorize. I need to put things in practice to learn and to retain the knowledge. For me, it was key to learn while working. No? And the good part is that in this case, Rafa, and for sure you are doing the same when you are doing the same kind of workshops, he does what he asks you to do. No, I mean, he make a very clear pre-work. He sends you a video of what you have to do.
Yeah.
He try to encourage you to do the pre-work, and if you don't do the pre-work and you are not doing the session, I was going to say a bad word there, but when you are lost, so it's up to you. I'm sorry. You should do the homework next time, no? And I like this kind of behavior, of saying, okay, I'm teaching you this and I'm doing this. So you learn twice, no? Because you see that I'm doing this and because you are putting it in practice.
Yeah, so you feel that this pre-work is really fundamental for the session itself, and also for you to enjoy it as much as possible, and also collaborate with the others, I imagine.
In fact, for the first session, and I was with Mariana in that course, I didn't make the pre-work.
Really, bad boy. I imagine that Rafa didn't like that very much.
I mean, he didn't care, to be honest. I mean, it's up to you now. But the problem is not that you are lost, no? In this case, the pre-work was to make like say 6 things about you and paste a picture there so each other knows a bit better. And I just improvised, no? But he made the reflection after with me one-to-one and said, it's not that you can improvise and it's okay, but it's when another person is talking, you're not listening to him because you are thinking on your pre-work that you have done, no? It's not only that you are affecting your performance in the meeting, is that you are also affecting to others, no? Because probably when you are thinking on what to say, you are like that, no? And taking notes and so on. So if the person who is speaking see that one in the meeting is not listening or multitasking or doing other things, you lose concentration or she loses concentration, and then his or her performance is also affected, no? So we need to be a bit more empathetic with that, and it's not because of us only, it's also because of the rest of the attendees of the meeting, no? That you need to do your pre-work and be ready.
Yeah. So what kind of things do you think that are fundamental working in a remote way? Not just now looking for COVID, but also for the future. So what those key things to really have as a leader a team that it's collaborating, that's involved in the purpose of the team and also of the company.
In fact, they are not so different from what they should be presential meetings, to be honest. Because, we lost in the past a lot of time in useless meetings. So yeah, it's a problem now because you have it very in a continuous way. I mean, you finish one and then you have the other, and then before you had one and then you had 30 minutes and then you had the other, or even only one per day, no? But we had a lot of, at least in my case, a lot of meetings that were useless, no? And you were there and you were with the mobile phone or thinking on your things. Even a lot of people, important meetings, and all of them with the computer, and you ask them to close the computer and they do it, and then when you don't look at, they do that. So you say, So coming back to your question, they are the same of normal meetings, but it's clear it's very important to have a clear agenda on what you are going to talk. Invite the people that it's needed, not invite people just because of the sake of they want to be there. I mean, if you are not needed there, you're not going to be there, no? So it's important, if you are going to do this, to be very consistent on the minutes after the meeting, no? So that people that don't attend the meeting because you think they are not going to be working, but they want to be informed, they know what it has been discussed and so on, no? So, and also, and depending on the kind of people you have in your teams, they are not going to understand that. But if you have an agenda with 3 topics to discuss about it, I mean, just talk about these topics, no? Because if another important topic raised there, then the people that you didn't invite because for these 3 they weren't important, maybe for this 4th some of them is important, no? So you need to say, okay, this is a very important topic, but let's discuss it in a different meeting, and we will invite people from a specific department that can be useful, no?
Yeah, did you remember what is the facilitation technique when we have those kind of subjects that go outside of the purpose of the meeting?
It's the parking lot, right?
Yes. Yeah.
I'm very good with names, and normally I change them because I like other names better, and that's because I'm a kind of rebel talent, you know.
Yeah, no problem. You know that parking lot, for me, it's one of the most important facilitation techniques, because I think that Latin people, we are used to starting to have a meeting about something, and we lose ourselves in time. So we start to discuss other things, and a meeting that is 1 hour, it can be like 2, 3, or 4 hours, and it's like crazy. And about the meetings, you know, that I feel with the clients that I'm working with, this is a huge problem. And you also you can see in LinkedIn and in some articles that are being written, that people are stuck the entire day in meetings. So it's like crazy. So they are doing a lot of things or not in those meetings. Then they come outside the meeting, they go again for another meeting, and when they start to work, it's like at the end of the day, or at the beginning of the day, or at lunchtime. Because really, I had the experience of people telling me that the 2, 3 days they just have meetings. So it's like crazy. It's like they don't understand what is a meeting. You know what we have to do in the meeting. So we have, like you said, we have to have a purpose and an alignment of topics. We have to make quick decisions, because in a remote way, it's to decide in a meeting. You have to decide about things, and everything else about brainstorming, about presentations, you can do outside. Or if you want to have a session of brainstorming, everybody like, okay, it's a session of brainstorming, but it's not a meeting, because meeting is really to take decisions, to everybody to participate, as you told, right? Also in the presential meetings, how many times that you have people that are in the meeting, like you said, and they don't feel that they should be there, right? They are not there also. They are physically there, but they are not there emotionally or participating with the rest. And that becomes more uh, when we think about the remote work, that becomes more visible if they have the camera on, because
If
I
they have the
already,
camera off, it also because if they're off, it's because they are not listening.
yeah,
I'm
they are not listening.
100% sure of this, so it's even easier to know them. No? At least they don't bother if they have the camera off, because if they have the camera on and they are like that all the time, then it's even worse, no? So
Yeah, for the facilitation, imagine you as a leader, and you already, I imagine that you have this kind of situations that you are facilitating a meeting, and you see that, and you start to understand when you see that someone is multitasking, right? Or they are sleeping, and they are like this, and this really and we make an exercise in workshop about the tension, about the respect of the other, or for them to understand if they are multitasking or they are really not paying any attention to what the facilitation are saying. That this really is something that changed the behavior of the facilitator. Also, it bothers the others, right? And the meeting itself, it becomes really strange, and it's not a good meeting.
yeah, and the other day I have one of my team members that she used to wear glasses, and she changed her glasses for a bigger one. So you know, when you change your screen, normally the colors they change, no? So
Yeah.
in the glasses you see and finally I said, I think you didn't make a good decision with these so big glasses. And she said, why? I said, no, because now I see better when you are not listening to me. When I don't, instead of seeing my face in your glasses of the cam, I see an email or an Excel file. And she said, okay, I will be more careful now. And in fact, she doesn't do these kind of things normally, but I mean, it was like a quick job, no? And this is something I normally try to.
That is good, you know, that in the other day, I also, obviously with the experience of doing so many facilitations, I start to understand when really people are not listening or not seeing, or are seeing other things. And when you have glasses, for example, as you said, you can understand more if the person is seeing you or not, because it really reflects.
Yeah,
Okay.
in fact, I normally use, but for the meetings I take off because I like multitasking. Just joking. But yeah, I mean, it's also depending on the kind of light they have in the room, you see
Also,
their
yeah.
face red, and then the face blue, and then the face green, and you say, okay, something is happening with his face or with his screen. And normally it's the screen, it's not the face that change of color. But yeah, I mean, it's quite annoying when they multitask, and I have to admit that I sometimes do the same when I'm not facilitating, for sure, because you are invited to a meeting that you cannot say no. In fact, you can, no, but you don't are so brave to say no, I'm not going to attend that meeting. And in the end, was if you see me in a meeting without my cam, you know that I'm not listening very much.
Yeah. What do you think about the team agreement? It changed the way that you saw also the alignment in the team in your team in specific.
Yeah, the team agreement is key, in fact, so that everyone is comfortable with the way we work, or it should be like that, no? I have had a few bad experiences with that because maybe because of different cultures or
Yeah.
that, and we don't make a real solid team agreement, no? Because there are like different things that are most voted, but by the same kind of people, both of them, no? So in this regard, the exercise or the tool of the gradient of agreement is quite useful, no? to understand, okay, these two are the most voted one, but maybe both of them has a lot of detractors and a lot of promoters, no? So this tool is quite useful to understand if the decision taken is supported by majority of them or not, no? So, but yeah, I mean, also because you can have different profiles, no? People like to work very late in the night, people that don't like to receive emails late in the night or early in the morning, and you need to somehow manage that. Also, when you are, I'm working with people like you, that you will work with people in Brazil, I mean, from people from Philippines to Mexico, no? So the different of times are huge. So
Yeah, that was something that I was going to ask you. Also, this workshop helps you in that. So, how did you manage having to manage people from so different parts of the world? That's in terms of the hours differentiation are crazy.
Yeah, I mean, they are not part of my team, but they are teams I need to work with, no? Because we need to be very coordinated the different regions. And the point here is try to leverage as much the work that you can do without a meeting, no? Try to do as much as you can in a way that you don't need to be connected. So maybe, I mean, as a company, we use Teams. What I have to say, for those that do multitasking is better because you don't have all the screens with the cams there. You have a lot of cycles because I think the maximum is 9. And so there's in meetings you are more. But it has useful things, no? Like these teams, these channels, and also you can have these like in Trello, but integrated in Teams. So you have something that you can make follow up in different time slots or in different time, and it's quite useful. And you need to try to leverage all these kind of tools that we have today, and that probably 2 years ago we didn't know about them, to try to maximize our performance.
Yeah.
But it's not easy, to be honest.
Yeah, usually the advice that I give to to the to the clients that I work with, to the people that really are suffering a lot with that, and uh, and you know that's what usually happens. Like for example, a company is from France, okay, and they are working with people in Brazil, in India. And also in the China, for example, when the companies form some particular country, they feel that they can like take demand on it, so they take decisions. We make everything at the hours that are more interesting for us because they are our working hours. So let's do it. And the others really like have meetings so soon or have meetings so late. And this happens really all the time. And it's like something that is common sense to distribute the pain, yeah, right? The pain of them. So if we are from so different areas, so different countries, we are we have so different schedules. Maybe let's distribute the pain. So let's do it India time for 1 week, then Brazil time that is good for them, then China, then France. And this pain distribution can really not like disengage the people to first not be in the meetings, for example, or not be in the meetings or not be attentive, or also really to start to feel really angry with the others because they really don't take into account which are our working hours, right?
But also you find this in Europe when you compare Spain with Central Europe. No, in Central Europe they normally finish at 5, and in Spain we don't. I mean, maybe we care, but we are used to work maybe until 7 or 8 in the night. No, so they don't understand probably if you call them at 6. But for you it's very normal. It's even early, no, at 6 in the afternoon to call them. But I try to leverage this situation to have less meetings, because with Mexico we have 2 hours or 3 probably of availability. So don't put everything for meetings. So let's use meetings only for what is needed a meeting. If you can send me a video or send me a file and I will complete it, it makes no sense to spend 1 hour of our time of 2 people going through an Excel file and completing it. No, so if I have any doubt, I will ask you, and that's all. So it's a good opportunity also to reduce the amount of meetings, to say, okay, if with the Philippines I can only meet from 10 to 12 in my morning, then less meetings I will have with them. And in Mexico the same. If I can only meet from 3 to 5, then I will have less meetings with them. No, it's not always easy, because especially in this period of the year that you have a lot of important meetings to do regarding budget for next year and so on, then you need to make more meetings, and then probably you finish a bit later. But during the year, I think it's a good advantage to try to change the mindset of a lot of people and say, okay, let's have less meetings, because if not, I need to finish later, or you need to start earlier in the morning, and I don't want you to wake up very early, and I want to spend a bit time with my children before they go to sleep. No. So,
I think really the key is what we can do in a synchronous way. So what kind of tools we can use, how can we manage the information, right? And obviously nowadays, in terms of tools to talk in a synchronous way, to keep posted in a synchronous way, there are a lot of things that we can align really to continue and to align things. For example, during this part of the year, okay, we have more meetings because of the budget, but even I know that there are companies or teams, they really are having meetings and really seeing the budget and doing the budget in the meeting. Imagine that. So it's like crazy. So they don't prepare things before the meeting. So they start to do things and to see the numbers, whatever, during the meeting. And obviously it takes a lot of time. And in some of these meetings, you don't have any kind of decision. You start to be tired, and we need another time really tomorrow to do this. But I think that this kind of problem also exists when we think about the presential, as you said. So there are some things that we should already know when we work presentially in a day by day. Yeah, that is quite the same dangers that exist also when we start to work remotely. Also,
hopefully this situation is useful to, when we go back to presential meetings, to learn something and try to apply these things that we are learning now remote meetings to be more efficient to the presential meeting, not because having 3 hours of a presential meeting to talk about the results, to be honest, I mean, we
It's
can have
crazy.
one to discuss what you don't understand or what you want more explanation for, no? But having this kind of reading 100 of slides of a PowerPoint with numbers, I mean, hopefully it's not going to happen anymore, no? But talking about these tools that we have to work in an asynchronous way, probably the most used, and for me the less useful, is the email, no? I mean, we used a lot the email for this kind of things, sending files up and there and so on, instead of using a SharePoint, no? Or a WhatsApp or the Teams chat, whatever, to try to give a brief information in a bold way. No, we are using email. That I try to read my email 3 times during the day. I mean, early in the morning, just in case from Mexico they sent a lot of mails in the night, or one before having lunch, and then in the end of the day. And if you need an urgent thing from me, I have told to my team, no, don't use the email, because I will probably don't take a look until 1 in the afternoon or 6 in the evening. No? So if you need something urgent, call me. If I don't get the phone, you can drop me a message in WhatsApp or in Teams. That works very, very well for these purposes. For the video conferences, it's another discussion. But we have plenty of things, no? Or if you want to share me a file, just send me the link to the SharePoint so that I can put your comment in the file, because this is something people don't use, no? And they send you a mail. I don't understand, why did you put in the cell A20 this number? Just put a comment there. It will come to me with an email, but I will go to the file and I will see it, and I will reply you in the same file, no? But we are getting used to it, and in the end, I think we will. In fact, we have started to reduce the amount of emails we receive daily, no? So also communication, no? If you, as a company, use Microsoft, you have Yammer for communication. You don't need to send emails for that, no? The problem is people today is not using these kind of things, no? But once we get more used to that, all these kind of official communications or weekly mail with the main news and so on can be managed by that, no? So you don't need to have your email overload with these kind of things. There's important things, and probably with customers that they don't use Teams, or they don't have your WhatsApp or whatever, no?
Yeah. What do you think about? It's also part of the workshop that, and one of the parts that I like the most, feedback. Feedback when we are working in a remote way. It changed the way, the perspective of feedback when you did the workshop, or not, or you quite aligned with the way that we can improve, because this is also a problem in a prudential way in many companies. But when you go remotely, the feedback, it's like one of the things that everybody has a hard time with it.
You mean personal feedback, or feedback as a team on how we are working?
You can talk about the two things, you know, because I see the informal feedback. I think that is more powerful than the formal feedback. So and also, if you want to separate things, like you have individual feedback and you have team feedback. Okay,
yeah,
that is something different. Yeah,
a quarterly feedback session with each of the members of my team to talk about what he doing good, what she needs to improve, or how I think she's going to go in her career, what she need to continue doing, and so on. I mean, I really prefer this kind of more personal things, the face-to-face. I mean, having the personal interaction, but it's possible to do it like that, no? I mean, I think I have, if it's March, I think I have had already 2 feedback sessions remotely, and next month I will have the 3rd one, no? And I mean, as far as they have the camera on, it's because it happens also that you are in a one-to-one meeting and the other person that doesn't put the camera on, and you say, okay, I'm talking to a black screen, but anyway.
So you are used you are used to more to have always verbal feedback, not written or visual feedback, for example.
Yeah, I mean, especially for the personal one, no? If we are talking about a pit stop of project or something like that, it's true that we normally had this twice per year, these sessions that were team building, but we leverage also as we travel to work a bit and have this kind of, I would say, no, I'm not going to say it. I don't get with the name, but anyway, retrospective.
If you want to, you can say it in Spanish.
No, I didn't get the word even in Spanish. And the retrospective of what we are working and so on, and this it's especially in order to everyone to speak their mind, no? Because in presential and also in remote meetings, there is people that they don't talk at all, and there's people that it's faster talking, no? And if you use, as we use in the presential, these boards with post-its, and everyone can write on their personal and inner space what they think, and they put it, we have a lot of tools. I mean, we have Mural, but we have others to make specific for retrospective, where they can put what they think, and they can do it onwards. You don't need to do it during the meeting. With the presential, you need to do it during the meeting, so you lose more time.
Yeah.
With the remote one, you can give a week to think on that, to put their post-its on that Mural or on that tool, and then during the meeting we will discuss about it, no, and to agree on what we need to improve or what we have done well, no. So in the end, it can be even more effective, no, if we use our tools properly than the face-to-face, no. And I really like being with some people, and
Sam, not all of them.
For sure, as soon as I can travel, I will try to meet with my team and have 1 or 2 beers with them and have this personal contact, no. But I think it's not so needed as I did before. I mean, I went to Madrid every week, and maybe it's not needed anymore, no. Maybe going once per month it's enough, and if 1 month we need to meet more for the social part than for the working part, I mean, for sure. But we can make team building have good time with some games that we can do virtually. It's not the same, but it's effective.
Yeah, that was something that I was going to ask you. I'm going to ask you 2 things that I think somewhat they are related. So, for example, do you see that, and you told already some things, that your role as a leader in a remote team has changed after the workshop itself, and also about that part that I think that are so important, and that I feel that in this COVID situation, that organizations were not prepared for this, and they are not having the ability to overcome. That is, we can continuously celebrate our successes and also give appreciation to the others, to our peers, also to our leaders, and but they don't know how to do it. And what kind of things, as you as a leader, are you doing when you did the workshop that changed itself?
Well, I mean, the game changers in the workshop were 2. I mean, the first one that I learned some tools that are very useful for being more effective, and some dogmas like don't present in the meetings, leverage the pre-work, do as much as you can in a synchro way so that you don't spend so much in meetings. And also, and it in the beginning, or maybe someone that is considering doing this workshop, that I really encourage everyone to do it. They may think that it's only to learn tools, but it's not only like that. No, I understood better the kind of people I can have in a meeting. No, and now I understand more why one of the people. I mean, I'm very I really like this DISC methodology of labeling people in blue, red, yellow, or green, or some of them. and I had some ideas on how to identify why a person behaves like that, no? But then you can find that you have other things, no? And the remote meeting, but also in the presentials, no? And this kind of I mean, the SCARF methodology or the different profile that you can find in a meeting made you think on how do you need to treat each of the team members, no? Not only with what I already knew, but also I had other things to try to build this and be more empathetic with my team members, and also with people that are not my team members, but they schedule a meeting with me, or they are from another department, but we need to have meetings in common to discuss about the roadmap that is going to come next year. And sometimes I have some needs, and the other person has other needs, no? And then you have conflict, no? So something that you learn, or at least maybe you don't become an expert, because it's 5 days, at least the one I did, but it gives you this seed to start watering and learn more about conflict management, no? And since I did this workshop, I bought a book about it, because it's something that, I mean, you may think I'm not, but I'm a quite conflictive person. And
I see in your face, Felix. I see in your face.
I cannot hide that. So, but it's not because I'm conflicted per se, no? It's because I have a character that may clash with some other characters, no? And maybe the other characters are very common, and I face a lot of time this kind of other profiles, no? And something that you learn in this workshop is that you need to be aware of yourself and your feelings. And if you see that you are starting to feel nervous or feel upset, it's better that you try to think on why you are feeling that, no? And if it's because of behavior of another person, I mean, try to understand why is he acting like that, no? Because maybe he thinks that you are jeopardizing his job position, for example, because if his roadmap is not as complete as he needs, then he would be in a bad position, no? So trying to understand that, and this is something you learn there, it's not easy, but it's something that you can do. I mean, you need to propose yourself to do that and work on that, and being realize that you are starting to behave in the wrong way, and understanding why helps you to keep calm and to don't start a fight that the only way, the only end of this fight is both of you are going to lose, no? Or this bold mail that you send when you read one rapidly. I mean, you need to say, okay, maybe you are misunderstanding something, or the words you are thinking on, they are not the appropriate there, no? And it's something that you already know, but with this kind of workshops, you refresh.
So I feel that in some way it's also a self-awareness workshop, right? It's more also looking for the emotional part of the remote work, not just for ourselves, but for the relation of ourselves with the others. More depth than the tech side of it. How do you think? For example, if you put a percentage, it's more like a 17% of self-awareness, 30% of tech side.
Well, it's a difficult question. I mean, what I really think is if you don't know why you behave somehow, it's important to know why other people behave in that way, no? So, because normally people react to things, and I also react to things, no? But as you don't know if the other one is going to be aware of what is making you react, maybe it's better that you think first what is making the other person react. So maybe if he stops reacting because you have stopped, then you will stop reacting easily, no? So it's the only way to start to understand other people is understand yourself, and as I said, you need to make it on purpose, because every human being, the first thing that try to do is try to find a guilty person that is not himself, no? No, this is because he didn't do. No, we are not talking about that, no? We are talking about finding solutions. So trying to don't be so reactive. And there's people that it's because they are more green. They're naturally less reactive. No, I'm quite red, and I naturally tend to react. I'm now artificially tending to control myself and try to understand why the other person is doing some things also. And having, especially with your team, because with people from other teams, they don't understand so much that you want to have these feedback sessions on the person, on that. Helps you a lot to understand why a person is acting like that. No, you may understand that they have some personal issues, or that the situation in that city is not the best, or they have other problems and not related to the job. No, and with some people you can see it on their faces, because I mean they tend to be very happy, and suddenly you see that they are less bright, and you can practically ask. But some people is not so transparent. No, so having these recurrent feedback sessions that, as I said, they can be done virtually perfectly. You have a remote team. Helps you a lot to understand them. No.
So you are like also the workshop helped you to become more a coachee, right? So
Yeah,
a
absolutely.
facilitator, like listen to the others, not because it's easy for everybody to just look at myself, what I want, what are my goals and this direction, and but like leadership is not that, right? So leadership is really trying to perceive the motivation, the profiles that we have on our team, and go ahead as a unit along with a specific purpose. And if we can guarantee this, we really can get along socially in terms of relationship itself, or outside maybe of our jobs, and have great results. So the increase of happiness, right? Not just the increase of results, but I really think that the two things are um, really important, and they are for now and for the future, like have to be in a equal strength in terms of looking for a medium long term team with success.
Yeah, because it's not going to bring any result if you push a lot a person that don't work well under pressure. No, and on the other way, it's not going to work if you are very weak with one person that like you be very pushy with him. No, so and this workshop somehow also helps you to do that, because in a meeting, I mean, you cannot force one person to talk in a meeting, but you may find with the different tools that we have ways to him to be able to express himself, or to say things without talking. No,
Yeah,
with voting sessions, with brainstorming post-its that you can do onwards, and then you can by voting. He's talking by voting, and also uh, giving the as a facilitator or leader of a team, asking directly to that person. No, but in a not from the beginning probably, but with a good icebreaker in the beginning, they change their mood and they lose this fear to talk. And especially in my case, no, because it's not only that he or she is more or less shy, maybe they are not so good in English, and we have our meetings in English, but I'm from Spain, so it's not my mother language. Some people are from France, some are from the UK, and are those that I understand the less, to be honest. There are those that speak the worst English in the whole world. But I mean, it's not easy to express as you would like in a different language that is your own. No? So we need to understand also this, and feel, and that, I mean, to understand if it's because he's very shy or he doesn't speak, or both, or and try to help them to with different techniques that we have to let's be shy. And I mean, English, the only way to learn a language, and I love languages, is talking. I mean, you will make a lot of mistakes, but it doesn't matter. I mean, the purpose is that the other person understands you and you can communicate. No, so you don't need to be Shakespeare to communicate in English. No, so this kind of also a lot of people, you need to tell them this, that it's quite easy to understand, but people feel ashamed. No, my English is not perfect. No, my English is not perfect neither. So what you need to do is talk, and in the end, your English will be better for sure. So, and there's people that need this support, and you as a leader, you need to be there to support them.
Yeah, create that safe place when nobody judges. Also, psychological security, it's something that we talk about really much in this workshop, and really is a concept that I think that is key, not just for remote work, but also for presential work. So everybody feels safe, trust itself, take risks, make errors, because we are experimenting all the time. So no problem about that. We can learn together and continuously learn together if we have psychological safety in our team, and a lot of the diversity in terms of the type of things that we think about it, our perspectives, they are different. So if this exists, the team continues to innovate, and there is a lot of discussion about innovation when we go remotely, and it's possible to continuously innovate and continues to have new ideas and create new things.
Yeah, I mean, granting this psychological safety is key, especially in a situation where you don't have only these kind of worries of the work. No, I mean, there's people that hasn't gone out of their home in weeks. There's people that have been working with 4 children at home,
yeah,
months, and
it's crazy.
You need to try to care them and give them a space. I'm quite open with my team. No, if you need to take a break, I mean, you need to cancel some meetings with me because you need to take care of your children, no, or you need just to disconnect, to go to your terrace and get the sun some time, no. You need to, as a leader, you need to allow the team to do that, no. And for this to be possible, you need to do as much as remote work or asynchronous work as you can, and only use meetings for important things. Because if you like getting up at 5 and you want to do all this asynchronous work from 5 to 9, why should I force you to do it from 9 to 11 or from 12? No, do it when you can, and when we will find a spot that it's suitable for both, that we can comment on it and discuss it and make decisions on this pre-work. No, but we need to give some freedom to the people.
Yeah, let's trust and be flexible, because they need flexibility. We don't work together. We don't see work at the same hours. We can do it in different hours. We can do it also in the weekend if the person wants. It's an option. I think the important thing is really to see the results that we have,
and to clear the team agreement. I mean, because if everyone says no, I don't want to receive emails on Saturday, then you can work
a really good example.
Postpone the send of the email, that you can do it with Outlook with no problem. But also we can agree, okay, I will send emails on Saturday, but you're not going to read until Monday. I'm okay with that. I don't need you to reply on Saturday. Are you comfortable with that? If they say yes, then you can continue. If they say no, then you need to try to modify a bit things. No, but doing all this asynchronous thing that I mean, filling Excel files or even thinking on ideas and so on, you don't need to be in a meeting to do that, no, or in an office. So hopefully after, and this pass soon, and we are safe again really soon, and COVID disappear. But even though this happened, we learn something of this situation, and we are not so slaves of our work, no, and we don't need to be stuck in a traffic jam for 2 hours, or I don't need to
so true.
to spend 6 hours in a week in a plane, no.
Yes, no doubt. And about feeling comfortable and really appreciate. I'm really comfortable in this conversation, really appreciating a lot. You know that we are talking for now 55 minutes. I really didn't understand how this happened. So
it's so fast, right?
It's like crazy. I think that for anybody to see this video, besides the participants that we have already, I think that we maybe have like more 5 to 10 minutes. So Felix, if you want, you can make me some questions, and then we give the space to our participants to make some questions if they want to do it.
Yeah, sure. I mean, for me, there's something that it's very important in my meetings, that it's trying to be like joking. No, I mean have a distant environment. No, I would like to understand. For your face, I think you agree a bit, but which kind of because I mean it's not good or bad, because maybe you are more serious and you don't feel comfortable with that. No, but which kind of way of leading these sessions are you? Are more like distant, or you try to be rigid, or which is the way you, or the kind of facilitator you are, no? Because this is something you also learn in the meeting, in the workshop, no? The types of facilitators that you can have, or that you
Yeah,
are.
yeah. I can say that one of the things that I really like is doing a nice break at the beginning. That is an obligation. So that is what something that I really learned. And then I like the popcorn technique also. So what I can say to you in terms of my facilitation, I really want everybody to participate. So for me, it's really, really important. And it's something that I try to do in a really easygoing way. So I'll just say, maybe I can start, for example, with the ice break. And I tell, there is an ice break that I really like it. That is, what is your guilty pleasure? That is something that I do when we go to the session of the feedback and appreciation, and that starts. It's really interesting to try to understand what kind of guilty pleasure, because there are some people that really they I think that they are sensible to this subject, and they really not say what they want to say. But it's interesting to see the reaction. Then I start with my guilty pleasure, then it rotates, and for me it's really the and the workshop, and also a meeting. What I learned is that as a facilitator, I have like 20% of the time of what I say. So 80% of the time is for the others. So to give them the perspectives, to give their opinions, uh, to do things, to really go ahead with the purpose itself. And I'm bold to like having those different kind of questions to make them think about it, to really make they make that self-awareness part when they are saying something. They are not thinking they are just thinking about themselves. They are not thinking about the others. So for me, the key is really to take the people outside of their comfort zone, and give them space and time to feel safe, and increase the psychological safety parts. I say this, obviously when you have a team it's more easy, but in a workshop when you have just 4 sessions it's quite hard to really to have it. So you have to really start well, okay, and real give them space to say what they want. One thing that I do, because it's like a training or a workshop, I have to have a timer. So what I say, that you are autonomous, you have this time. I really want for you to use the popcorn technique and everybody to speak, but you are an agile team, so you have to be ruled about this time, and think that the other has to speak also, the others have to speak also. So be aware that you are not the only one that wants to speak. I don't tell this in this way, but the goal is really for everybody to participate. That is really crucial for me. If that doesn't happen, I think that's somewhat I failed as a facilitator, as a coach, you know, as a participatory leader or trainer.
Okay. In fact, I didn't prepare any question, to be honest. So I'm trying to kind of improvise. So I could ask you for your guilty passion.
My guilty pleasure. Yeah, I have two. They are equal. That is honey and Nutella.
And you mix them or separate it?
No. I don't mix because it. I think that when I ended that mix, I will die. But but with a heartbreak, what it happens is that I really try to stay far away when I go, for example, to the supermarket and I see like things like Nutella or honey. So I go far away. I don't want to be in contact with them because if I bought like honey or Nutella, I can eat it everything in the same day in a couple of hours, and that is not good because usually what I buy it's like with the like
right?
a little bit big, you know. So it's not a good thing, but they are in a equal way my the greatest guilty pleasures that I have. Yeah.
There are worse pleasures. So I mean, you are lucky or only this.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, I think that's also. I don't know if anyone has other question to you. Okay, I think we have something here in the chat.
Oh my God, 3 questions. What do you think will be the next step for a pro remote work? I'm going to leave this to you, Felix.
What will be the next step for pro remote work? I mean, it depends on the last step you did.
I think that this is related for you, so.
For me.
Yeah.
Well, I think I need to give a lot of steps to be a pro remote work, but probably I need to be more consistent with the minutes after the meetings. No, this is something I need to continue working on, and this is something with Teams you have the possibility of has this one note at the same time you are in the meeting. So for that, I think it's very important that you have a specific person to write down this minute while meeting, and this is something unfortunately I don't have. But because if you are trying to facilitate the meeting and write down what it's been shared, it's not easy, no? So I think here I have a space for improvement, and I need to find a way to do it. No, maybe in the team to make turns, and in each meeting one of them needs to do that, even though we sacrifice a bit of the participation. But this is something, we need to be more consistent on that.
Yeah. Maybe having someone that is writing things that it's outside of your team, for example, can be somewhat a facilitator.
Yeah, if his boss allows him to spend time being
for sure. And you don't have to
someone only for this, but maybe my boss is not happy. Oh, he's only writing down minutes.
And maybe when someone ends what they are speaking or thinking, they write on a chat board, for example. It's something that can be interesting. Yeah.
Then I just thought that this question was for me because you consider yourself a pro remote worker, right?
No. For sure that I have a lot to learn. But I think that this is really, I think that the person that wrote this was thinking about you. And the second I can answer the second one, and the third one we can like answer together. So the second one is, what do you think is the biggest challenge for companies that are still not investing on human factor of remote work? I think that they are going to have a big problem if they don't have it already, that is related to turnover and to lack of flexibility, and also I think that the remote work, it's really something that should be part of the culture of a company. So if he's not being a part, that is going to take leverage in terms of the hiring part, the recruitment part, because if people know that they can't do remote work, or they don't, still I can give the example that I'm doing recruitment process and people are asking me, how is the policy of the company in terms of the remote work, for example. And these I think that can make like a picture of things, not for the future, but already right now, how people are seeing the remote work. Okay, so
Something that it's interesting is that I'm not going to say names because I know a lot
no
of
names, no names, please, Felix. We don't need problems.
no, that's right. But there are some people that before COVID they were complaining because they didn't have remote work. They wanted to work from home. They were the whole day complaining about that, and now they are complaining that they want to go to the office. They don't want to work home, and you say, okay, you are never happy with what they give you, no? But yeah, I think, and answering a bit on the third one, I don't know how it will be, but how it should be is that we need to learn from our experience with remote work. It has worked, at least from my perspective, and in my company, it's working. And I think it's giving a lot of benefits in terms of people being more productive even.
Yeah.
And especially those that live in Madrid or big cities, that they spend a lot of time on their car to commuting to work, no? So I think if they are clever, they will continue with this remote work, and even being even more consistent on doing good meetings, no, not just meetings for meetings, but having less meetings are more useful, no. So I think it would be like this, or it should be like this. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that we are going to really try to balance things between remote and presential work. So I think one of the keys is really starting to work in a hybrid way, um, depending on the type of sector of industry, and also the role that the person has in the industry, because there are really roles that are quite operational. They have to be on the floor, or they have to be in the sales part, close to the clients. So I think that the hybrid is really a key for all kind of companies. Then you have to, we have to distinguish the ones that really have to be more in the presential way, and the others that can be working more in a remote way, like, for example, IT companies that still now, also in Portugal, they were also working a lot in a remote way. But the question was about other sectors that really didn't have any kind of practice, also any kind of policy or nothing else in terms of the way that they see this as an important thing in terms of their culture that is related with trust. We trust that people working in a presential way or in a remote way, they are doing their jobs. We trust them. They are giving us the results that we want. I don't care about the schedule. I don't care where are they're working. Let's be flexible. Let's trust in people, and see this really in a good way. I think the COVID oblige many companies to do this, and they now have to choose in the future if they want to to come back to the past. I don't think that is a good idea. As I said in the second question, you said it's true that there are some people that they want to go to the office. True, because they are really, maybe they are really tired of staying at home because of the children, or a lot of things that I can see and relate and understand. But they are going to really try to balance, and they have to balance companies, persons, and the new generations. They want more to work in a remote way. They really.
You
And
mean
also,
our generation, right?
sorry.
You mean our generation, no? By the new
Yeah,
generation.
the old guys, the IT guys.
And just to finish with a bit of humor, I think it will be, if COVID lasts a lot, it will be for sure remote, because they will be forced to sell their offices, no? So they will have no office and they will have no money, so they will have to sell the office and will need to work from home.
That is another tendency, that is really the decrease of the offices that we will have. Also, the conditions of the offices have to be differentiated, because they have to have spaces to people that are working at the office with the remote people. And I think that other tendency that we really have to understand is that this will turn the all of the world, for all of the world, the possibility of being global. What I can say is that I can be in Portugal working for Indian company, for example, or a Brazilian company. So one of the tendencies that is going to be like starting to have a global war about talents. And what we have to work on is mainly our soft skills. And so we talked about also about this, the soft skills of dealing with people at the distance, and also about the tools, but more about the soft skills than the tools. This is my opinion.
And also not from even not from different countries, no? I mean, if you are from I don't know, from Mallorca, for example, and your headquarters is in Madrid, it makes no sense to force one person from one city to move to another one to work.
Yeah.
Unless it's a fabric or it's a factory or something that you need to really be there to do something, no? Or you are a shop assistant and you need to be in the shop.
Yeah.
But depending on the job, I mean, if you are from Lisbon and the company is in Porto, I mean, it makes no sense to make him move to Porto to work, no? If they can work from another city.
Now, and that is something that is really interesting. That there are a lot of towns that are in Portugal, for example, they are authentic desert.
Yeah, they are ghost cities, no?
Yeah, they are ghost cities. Yeah, that's right. And they now can have people that they really want to go outside of the city, of the big cities like we have in here, Lisbon, Porto. They are full of people, and it will be really good to those ghost cities or towns. Yeah. And the distribution of people in the countries will be also more sustainable. And if it's sustainable like this, also it will be sustainable about the environment, because there are not a great concentration of people in some places, and the impact of this in the environment, it's really big. And I felt this because everything stops, the industry stops, and I started to feel the environment, that because I go running, whatever, and I was breathing air much different than in the past.
Yeah, hopefully that the trend is like that. And in Spain, we have huge parts of the country that are empty, no? What we call it the empty Spain, no? And because everyone goes to Madrid or to Barcelona, and honestly, it makes little sense that you need to leave your family because you need to work, no? And because you, with the salary, you even don't pay a flat in Madrid, no? So the flats or the houses in other towns are cheaper. So hopefully we see that also.
So Felix, thanks very much for your time. It was a wonderful conversation. I think we talked more than we wanted in terms of time, but for me it was really good. I hope that people who see this understand the added value of the workshop, and the things that we share could be useful for someone in the world.
Hopefully, yes. Thank you for inviting me. It was a pleasure, and I really highly recommend to everyone that is seeing us to do this workshop, because I learned a lot from it. I think I am a better professional after that. But I mean, do it if you want to improve something. I mean, do it if you really want to put in practice what you learned there. And if you do so, I mean, your team will be happier, your company will be more productive. So if you have this aim, don't hesitate on that and do it.
Thanks very much.
Good night.
Have a good night.
Take care.
See you
Bye.
soon. Take care. Bye bye.